Welcome to World History in Short Videos, your one-stop shop for history-related content. In today's video, we're going to explore the history of the very first Microsoft Windows operating system. Many of us use Windows every day, but do we really know how it all began? Let's dive into the fascinating story of the first Microsoft Windows and learn how it changed the world of personal computing. The development of the first Windows operating system began in 1981 when a small team of Microsoft developers led by Bill Gates and Paul Allen were tasked with creating a graphical user interface that would make it easier for users to interact with their computers. At that time, most personal computers used a text-based interface that required users to type in commands. The team set out to create a system that would allow users to interact with their computers using a mouse and keyboard, rather than just command lines. It was a challenging project, and the team faced many obstacles along the way. One of the biggest hurdles was creating a system that would work on a wide range of hardware. At the time, computers were built with different components, and the team had to ensure that their system would work with as many computers as possible. The first version of Windows, Windows 1.0, was released in November 1985, and it ran on top of MS-DOS. Windows 1.0 was a significant step forward in personal computing. It used a GUI that allowed users to interact with their computer using a mouse and keyboard, rather than just command lines. It also allowed for the display of multiple applications on a single screen, a feature that was not available in MS-DOS. Windows 1.0 came with several built-in applications, including a calculator, a calendar, a notepad, and a clock. However, Windows 1.0 was not without its limitations. One of the main challenges was the hardware requirements needed to run the software. At the time, computers did not have a lot of memory or hard drive space, and as a result, many people could not run Windows 1.0 on their computers. In fact, it required a minimum of 256 kilobytes of memory and a hard disk to run the software. Despite these challenges, Windows 1.0 was a success, selling over 500,000 copies in the first 2 years. It paved the way for future versions of Windows that would be easier to use and more feature-rich. Windows 2.0, released in 1987, added support for expanded memory and improved graphics, while Windows 3.0, released in 1990, revamped the graphical user interface. Around the same time that Microsoft was developing Windows, another company was also making strides in personal computing. Apple had released its first Macintosh computer in 1984, and it was the first computer to feature a GUI. The Macintosh was a direct competitor to Microsoft's Windows, and it quickly gained popularity among users who preferred its ease of use and aesthetics. In response, Microsoft released Windows 1.0. While it was not as advanced as the Macintosh GUI, it was still a significant step forward in personal computing. Microsoft continued to develop Windows, and by the release of Windows 3.0, it had become a viable alternative to the Macintosh. The development of the first Microsoft Windows operating system was a significant milestone in the history of computing. It marked a shift from the text-based command line interface to a more user-friendly graphical user interface. Windows made it easier for non-technical users to interact with their computers and paved the way for the modern personal computer. And there you have it, the fascinating story of the first Microsoft Windows operating system. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more stories. Thank you for watching.